All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome on tonight's show. I welcome each and every one of you tonight. My name is Nina Lafatai. I'm the host of the Speaker Show. So, one more time, I welcome each and every one of you. Now, on the Speaker Show is a place of inspiration, motivation, where minds are being liberated through reasoning. So, what does that mean? On the Speaker Show, we inspire, we motivate, we counsel, we coach. That's what we do on the Speaker Show. And tonight, I want us to have a great time. I want us to have a great time tonight. So, because tonight, the weekend is full of love, and then most especially, we're in the Black History Month, and I think it's important for us to know the foundation, and appreciate the people that came before us, the people that broke boundaries. That led us in the right path. So, it's important for us to acknowledge those people, their perseverance, their consistency, their hard work. We need to acknowledge it and appreciate it. And then, I just want to give it up to each and every one of them, for getting us to where we are today, as black folks, in the diaspora. So, you know, shout out to each and every one of them. All right. So tonight, we're gonna be talking about love. And I want you to understand something, that tonight I'm not here to sit down with you and talk about romantic love. No, that's not what I'm here to do. But I'm here to talk about a different love, a love that liberates. Last week we talked about, having to heal from the past, from the wound, from the things that you carry. And, I felt that it's important for us to seal it up, to complete the series with love, because love surpasses every other thing. So that's why tonight we're going to be talking about love, and very importantly, I just want to say that, and I'm going to be giving us a quick story. I'm going to be giving us a quick story of the power of love tonight, because I am so excited, I am happy that we can actually even have the opportunity to go through this on the show. So I remember, like, there used to be this broken avenue, like a street called Broken Avenue, and that's in the United States. And that street, see, a lot of people always think, maybe probably because the street had some cracks, and maybe there's some things that weren't right. So that's what people always think about the street when they hear like a broken avenue. So, but the reality is that the people on it actually, made it into what it is. you know Doors stay shut, especially in this part of the world. you know it's just you and your family, just you and yourself. Doors stay shut, high stays down. Nobody wants to look at you, nobody wants to say hi to you. You see, people go through the depression, people go through hard time just because of loneliness. So paying learned to live quietly in that neighborhood, because people just accepted it the way it is. Everyone was surviving, there was no love, but nobody was really being seen in that city, in the Broken Avenue streets. So now the reality is that on the corner of the Broken Avenue, there was a woman that was actually named Haisha. And this woman, she ran a tiny little shop, that barely even made any money, because the people on the street are actually even broke. So, but every morning, she swept the sidewalk in front of her store, just because it was her responsibility, not because no somebody told her to do it, but just because it was her responsibility, but because she believes that that place being clean matters a lot. When that place is clean, it invites clean hearts. That was her belief. And then she did that for like several years. So when people pass every day, carrying invisible weight, a single father exhausted, from being strong, even a single mother from being strong, a teenager hangry at the world, but never even listen, never even wonder why. An elderly man, who hadn't heard his name spoken kindly in years, because when you get older, like they always says that, the older you get, the lesser friends that you have. So even some people at that state, they don't even have anyone to call on them, which is sad and depressing. But no one actually asked for help. And I'll tell you something, and at the same time, no one offered it, because no one asked for the help. So no one offered it because everybody believed they're okay. Everybody believed they're surviving. Now, you need to understand something. Until one winter money, I'm telling you, until one winter money, and then you guys can read about the story. The cold eat harder than the pride. The eater, in the old man's apartment was broken. And then, he sat in the dark, with his cold, full of memories, wondering, when the world had decided he was no longer necessary. He was so depressed. And then, Aisha noticed that he hadn't passed a shop in days. That was the man. So what she did was that she did something really amazing. She did something really amazing, and she made a soup. Okay, not a big speech, not a big one, not some, just something little. And it wasn't even a fundraiser that she did, but it was just a little soup that she cooked. She knocked on the man's door. No one answered. See, I'll tell you the importance of why you need to love. And then she knocked on the door. No one answered her. She knocked again. No one answered her. And then finally, and then finally, the door opened. And at the time the door opened, she found the man on the floor. And the man, she didn't even need to ask the question that what happened, what's going on. She just said, I made so much, you can help me and not waste it. And she gave the man out of the soup. And that was how love entered, not as a lecture, but as an invitation. So what that means is that it's not by words, it's by action. If Aisha, the old woman, never made the attempt to cook the soup, you could imagine that that man he would die over there. And then the next day, the teenager actually even helped the old man carrying groceries. Not because he was, the boy was told to do it, but because he saw how it felt to be noticed. The single father started bringing his daughter to Aisha's shop after school. That's how communication began for them. See, I know this sounds like an ordinary story, but I want you to understand something, that there is a huge lesson to learn about it. Because most times, we forget really about who we are, and then we carry on other people's identity. We carry on what the word says, what the environment, how people have created the things to be. So we carry it on like that, and then we build our life around it. But I'm telling you this evening that you can do better. You can build a different life. You can be that person, because everybody at some point in their life, they want to be noticed. Everybody at some point in their life, they want to be seen. Everybody at some point in their life, they want their voice to be heard. They want someone to say hello to them. They want to say hi to someone. This illusion of every one of us just keeps surviving and surviving and surviving. And at the end of the day, it leads us to nowhere. So if each and every one of us, we can open our arms, and receive others and receive the people around us, I think that the world will be a better place. Some can't even render help. They feel too big to render help. Some have the help, but yet they still see themselves as someone who cannot render the help. So, there's so many things that could hold us back. There's so many things that could hold the old woman Aisha, that could hold her back. But the beautiful thing about the story of that broken avenue is that the broken avenue didn't change overnight. Pain, doesn't pack its bag that quickly. I'm done. I'm ready to go. I'm not staying here anymore. And then, same thing with trauma. Trauma doesn't even just, evaporate because someone smile. it's a gathering process. It's time, so people, in that area, in the broken streets, everybody begin to, to see each other, to smile at each other. I can do better. You that you're listening to me can do better, because we know that even sometimes, I don't know, sometimes, even before you see someone, you already judge who they are. Before you even hear them speak, you already judge what they're going to say. You already concluded for them. You conclude right away. Just mere looking at someone, you conclude. See, those are the kind of things that I'm telling you. Those are the kind of things that I'm talking about, that we need to stop. We need to stop prejudging people. If you're in the business world, they will tell you the most mistake that you cannot make is you prejudging other people, because you never know who is going to say yes to you, and you never know who is going to say no to you. The person that you expect them, that they look all nice, sharp, and good, that you think they're going to say yes to you, are the people that are going to say no to you. The friends and family that love you, that you think, oh, because this person loves me, I'm one way or the other close to this person, they will support me, they will be the, but you realize that they will be the last person on the list. And the ones that you don't even expect, on the other hand, the ones that you don't even think about, are the ones that will support your dream, that will support your business, that will support whatever you have to do. So you cannot prejudge. You have to love everyone. You have to give room for everyone to be seen. You have to give room for everyone's voice to be heard. Don't be that person that shut them off. Don't be that person that just want to be the one that knows it all. Because the reality is that you only think you know it all, but you don't. You don't. Because why? We acknowledge, we acquire knowledge at every single point in our life. So, the power of love isn't found in grand gesture. No. It lives in small, consistent act of care, in noticing who is missing you, who is missing, not even who is missing you, but even who is missing around you, in showing up, when it could be easier to walk away, to walk past it, but yet you still show up. You see, I'll tell you a quick story personally about me. I remember there was an event that I went to a couple of years ago, and this is like a couple of years ago. Everyone I invited didn't show up. But the person that I never even expected that would show up, was the person that showed up for me. And till today, we remain good and great friends. That friendship, is built, was there, and is still there till today, just because of showing up at a time that wasn't even expecting that person was going to show up. The power of love. The person showed up for me and made me feel better. And so many times I've showed up for people as well. Who are the people that you show up for? Or you just go to regular, you just do your life regularly. Everybody that invites you, you're there. Even the ones that acknowledge you, the ones that doesn't even acknowledge you, the ones that is relevant and the ones that is not even relevant. You got to think. You got to think. You don't have to save the world. You don't have to be there for everyone, but you can change someone's world. Just one person. Just one person, you can change their life. Just one person, you can turn their life around. Just one person can say that if you didn't leave, I wouldn't be this person. I wouldn't be here today. And I feel that that is the desire that each and every one of us need to have. That just because of you, I am here. Just because of you, I made it. By loving them where they are, how they are. So, you see, it's important that, if love can change just ordinary one street, just love can change one just ordinary one street. The broken street, the broken avenue, one family, one heart. Then imagine what it could do when we all decide to love. When we all decide to be kind to one another, when we all decide to show sympathy, empathy to each and everyone around us, not just to be selfish about ourselves alone, not just to live in a surviving mode. No, we need to break out of that shell. See, people in the diaspora, either you like it or not, that's the kind of life that it is here. But you got to change it. You got to build. You got to break the barriers. You got to step out of your comfort zone. You just have to. Because if you don't spread the love, no one else would do it for you. So as we celebrate, we're in the season of love, going back to, what I started with, the Black History Month, the people that laid their life down, they did it because of love. They did it because you and I, they wanted us to have a better life. They wanted us to have a better chance. They wanted us to have a better chance. They wanted us to sit in the parliament. They want us to be at the top. That's why they broke the barriers. That's why they live the kind of life that they live. So they can be the reason why we can step up, why we can go, that we can try and say, if they did it, then we can do it and we can do it better. They showed us love. They laid that love down. Check the indigenous people. Same thing. Same thing. So we need to understand, the love is just beyond you and your family, you and your kids, you and your wife, you and your spouse, you and your siblings. Love is beyond that. Is way beyond that. And everything will start with a kind heart. Everything start with a kind heart. So I implore you this evening to just please don't just listen to my message for listening's sake, but I want you to understand that it is important for you to share love, because love is so powerful. Love, it is greater than what we just think about it. As Christian would say, if you can ask God to give you a revelation of the power of love, then you will understand what I'm saying. Then what I'm saying will not just be an ordinary word to you. Then you will understand the real in-depth of that word love, because it's bigger than what we just call it. It's bigger than what we just say about it. As we shrink it and make it look small and make it look is not important anymore. So everyone, it's wonderful to, it's wonderful to be here. And I'm just going to be closing with this, that open your heart and understand that love is not weak and love is not being soft. Love is strength that carries compassion. Love is choosing kindness when ego wants to revenge. Love is choosing healing when pride wants you to be right. Love is powerful. It is built, it is built outside of families or even the broken people. Leaders out there, even sometimes some of them have wounded, with children, little kids, carrying responsibility that they're not supposed to. But I just want you to understand that you don't need permission to love. You only need courage. That's it. You only need the courage to love. And you can do it. And we all can do it. And we all can make the world a better place. And we all can make our environment a better place. So I'm encouraging you tonight that don't live your life for you alone. Live your life for others, for the people around you. For the people around you. Let someone say to you that if it wasn't for you, it would have ended. Let that be your story. Let that be your drive. Let that be your aim. And if you can do that, trust me, 1,000 folks are going to come back to you. In multiple fold are going to come back to you, because when you give, you receive more. When you show love, others will show compassion to you. Either you see it or you don't see it, it doesn't even matter. But the reality is that others will show you compassion. Because why? You have given. And when you give, you will receive in multiple fold. So I just want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you for joining me tonight, because it's very powerful that we talk about this. We can't just make everything about inspiration and all that. We need to understand our daily lives, how we live our life, the kind of legacy, the kind of things, and what we are teaching to the young generation. What kind of love we're teaching to the young generation. Are we scolding them? Are we belittling them? Are we shrinking them? Are we shrinking their ideology of what a better world could be just because of our perspective as an elderly person? So we need to think and understand that love is not about you alone. It's about each and every one that surrounds you, and the ones that you don't know and the ones that you know. So if you can please do me a favor as we end this show tonight, when you get out, either tonight or tomorrow, please just say hi to your neighbor. Say hi to a stranger that you don't know. Let it be a challenge. Say hi to a stranger and tell me how that works out. Next week, I'll be here. Let's see. Let's take on that challenge. As you go this week, get a stranger, someone you don't know, and say hi to them. And let's see what will happen. So everyone, thank you. Thank you so much. Honestly, I can't thank you guys enough for always joining me, for your time, your dedication. We meet each and every time. You guys are amazing. So I just want to say thank you, and please do have yourself a very, very wonderful night. And I remain your host, your one and holy, Nini Olafatai. So thank you, everyone, and please do have a wonderful time. Do have a wonderful evening, and happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. So grab someone, get someone a gift. Get them something, even as little as you just getting the card and just write something on it, or maybe get a paper and just write something on it. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. So do that, and let's see what's going to happen. And until then, I will see you all next week. So thank you all for joining me. And, I remain your host, like I said, Nini Olafatai. And please don't forget to share the video, to like the video, share with your friends and loved ones. You don't know who is going to like it. You don't know who wants to be part of this. You don't know. So please, and you don't know what people are going through in their personal life. So it's important for you to just please share and share and share and share and share. And I wish each and every one of you a very wonderful, happy Black History Month, and happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. And until then, I'll see you next week at 7 p.m. All right then. Bye, everyone. Bye.